Hello, I'm here with Michelle Fischer, principal at Calvary Lutheran School in Kansas City, and one of your instructors for our beginning teachers, newer teachers program, really newer teachers because we have, doesn't really matter, first year, fifth year, seventh year, come one, come all.
There you go.
So this is a little follow-up that we do. Last year I did this with Royce Hartman. This year it'll be with Michelle and Dr. Carrie Smockowitz. And we just want to be with you and talk a little bit about Christmas break, which is an exciting time.
Absolutely.
Could be a stressful time, especially with all the school programs and just all the candy and donuts and everything else in the teacher's workroom and so on. But a little discussion on preparing for Christmas break. What about Christmas break itself? And then it does come to an end.
It does.
And you have to go back to, well, you don't have to, you get to go back to the classroom and enjoy it once again, but it can be just like a brand new school year in some ways. So I've asked Michelle to give you some advice on all of those topics and to throw in, if she wants to go on another tangent, she can do that as well.
Okay.
So what advice do you have, Michelle, for first, just last couple days leading up to Christmas break before you leave your classroom? And you may not see it again for a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, for sure. My one piece of advice is enjoy the kids. Enjoy what can sometimes seem like chaos. Get your sleep at night, because you know that this last week the kids are going to come in with the energy, almost the beginning of the year again. It's that uncontrollable energy. Not only are they excited for all the Christmas programs and the parties that are coming up, but the vacation and family and the holidays and all the gifts and stuff. So making sure that you're well rested and know that you need to come in with the energy is a big thing for these last couple of days. And then before you leave, my one big piece of advice would be don't just leave your classroom in chaos on that last day. But spend a few minutes and kind of put your world and their world back into kind of some order. Because over Christmas break, you want to get away and spend time doing something that you enjoy, not focusing on work. Enjoy family, enjoy the holidays, read a book not related to school. Go out and enjoy nature and whatever fills your bucket. Do that. But if you leave on Friday or Thursday or Wednesday, whenever the last day is, and your classroom is a chaos, like mine always was, when you come back, it's still going to be chaos. And that doesn't lead for those first couple of days to be enjoyable for anybody. So spend a few minutes reorganizing desks and your curriculum and your bookshelves and all of those things that for the last 4 months have been well used and well loved by the students in your classrooms. And so just put some structure back and fix up the things so that it looks nice and you feel good about how you're leaving your room. And so that when you come back, it's organized and really kind of ready to go.
Yeah. Well, and I've always said, and maybe this is just me, but that last week right before they leave for Christmas break, take a deep breath.
Yeah, for sure.
Sing some songs, transition a lot, get them moving. You know that they have a lot of energy. They're excited. You have to run with that a little bit, or otherwise you'll lose it.
For sure.
So figure out the moments and structure it to take them away and let them get the energy out.
Yep. And if you don't hit everything that last week, it's okay. Go with the flow of things. If the science unit takes longer, that's okay. They're not going to be able to do or ready to do kind of that same rigid structure that you've been doing, probably up to this. So enjoy the times, enjoy the tangents that the students will throw at you, and enjoy those teachable moments with the students, and don't stress over not hitting the math lesson as well or as long as you wanted to. It's okay.
Yes. Take your moments.
Yep.
And use it wisely. But yet don't let it get out of control. So basically what I always would say is you're controlling the chaos.
Yep.
So give them moments of chaos to get it out, but structure that in so that in transition time, create some chaos, let them get the energy out, refocus them.
Yep.
cover a task, and then, kind of go the back and forth route.
Yep. And, get creative in your, when you're trying to walk down the halls, instead of, maybe some of the things, sing a carol, use the things that they're excited about to help you with those transitions and to help you move, through this last week.
Absolutely. Christmas break, that's a time, and you hit on this a little bit, get away, get prepared before you leave. It's nice to have the room in order, so you don't have to worry about that when you get back, and things are organized. But then once you're on break, what do you do? Because as a teacher, that is one of the nice things. You get a few days to be away.
You do, yeah. And for sure, I would, use this first year. I mean, it's so easy to let your job consume every detail of what you do, and always worrying about what comes next and that unexpected and things. But really, you've got to take some time over Christmas. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your traditions that you've had for, up till now, and really spend some time away from the office to rejuvenate yourself. And so if you like to hike, get outside. It's been beautiful weather, at least here in Kansas City. Enjoy, nature, read a book. I know that was me. I read so many professional books that sometimes you forget what reading a book for pleasure is. So pick up a book that maybe you've wanted to read, or, a book that someone gave you, as a gift or something like that. So enjoy something that has absolutely zero to do with the job.
Yes, get your mind away.
Yes, for sure. And for those that have kids of their own, or that are traveling, enjoy that. Enjoy some time with your family.
Be in the moment.
Yep.
So absolutely take that time, enjoy that time, step away. Remember, you have to recharge, and if you're not recharged, you come back and you're low on energy and you're wiped out. It will take its toll, and that will be a long semester, and you will not do as good of a job teaching. The kids will pay the price too, because you're not there.
And what we know about teaching, January and February, you don't have as many breaks. There aren't as many of those 4-day weeks in there, and those tend to be longer months. As you're going through those, and often the weather is colder and stuff, so you need to be ready to go, ready to hit the ground running in January, and be have that energy back and ready to go, and
absolutely
hit the ground running.
Yeah, and again, pick some fun things to do. Maybe, a lot of movie theaters have on a Tuesday morning or something like that, $5 movies. And just pick something that you can go out that you do enjoy, that can be fun, that takes you away. Watch a couple of shows that you haven't watched.
Catch up on your Netflix.
Catch up on Netflix. Binge watch. Do some of these things, but be active too, because as you know, teaching takes a lot of energy.
It does.
It wipes you out physically and mentally. So recharge yourself. Also, one of the things I kind of say to those, be careful. You can sleep in, and take advantage of that. But if you do that so many days in a row and then you go back,
that can be challenging as well. Yeah. As you start getting back towards the, whenever you start, I know we're starting on the 3rd of January this year, those couple of days before, go back into a normal routine, get your body reset, and try to, and that also, depending on when you go back, some are going back on the 7th, some will come back on the 3rd, the day before, really kind of wrap your head around what is it that you're wanting those kids to do, and refresh in your mind the schedule and all of those things that go, because when those kids hit on that first day, you're going to have to go back through that schedule, because it's not going to be in their minds and stuff. So making sure that you're ready for those kids to come back. It's kind of like the first day of school all over again.
It is. And I used to recommend write a lesson plan for the first couple days back, where you do some activities to bring them back in, and again, get some of the energy out. Some will be really ramped up still, because they've, been eating chocolate and staying up late and doing all these different things during the holidays, or they've seen family, and
some are going to be tired because they've been sleeping in.
And that's the other way. You have both crowds, don't you? You have those that are ramped up, and then those that they just still want to sleep.
Right.
So
Yep.
figure out the activities that you're going to do to get them back in.
Yep.
Because you can be
Reviewing the structure.
frustrated pretty easily because you have the group over here that's bouncing off the walls, the group over here that's sleeping. And you're saying, wait a minute,
we need to do this.
Yes.
Yep.
So that there can be conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you avoid
Sure.
the conflict of all those things?
Being well prepared.
Absolutely.
Making sure that you've thought through not only your short-term goals that you want to do that first week and those first few days back, but having gone through and looked at what the long-term goals as well. At the beginning of the year, we're really good about saying, okay, I want to do these lessons and these units, and by Christmas I want to be here, and by the end of the year I want to be here. Just go back and refresh that. If you're not quite there, that's okay. But what does that pace look like? What are the concepts that you want to teach?
Mm-hmm.
So the long-term goal, having that vision in your head, but also make sure you're well planned for those first couple of weeks and first couple of days especially.
That's a great point, though. Take inventory from really that first semester.
Mm-hmm.
How was the pacing? Where did I get? Where am I?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean for second semester?
Right.
And take advice from your teachers that are around you that have been there for a while and are experienced. Ask them about first day back,
mm-hmm.
things that they do. Ask about, okay, we're here at mid-year, so what about second semester? What are the things I should be aware of?
Yep.
And the whole school year, you hit on it. It's a roller coaster because January, February, March, those are some doldrums because
right.
the weather typically is dreary,
right.
Not as much sunlight. You have more 5-day school weeks,
right.
and you can run down easily.
Yeah.
So be ready for that. And again, ask veteran teachers, how do you handle that?
Yep.
What you used to do when you hit that?
Pray. No. Honestly, for me, I always, you have to make sure that you're refueling yourself every week. I tell my faculty here, if you're not in church and in the Word and that even over Christmas break, and you're refeeding your spiritual side as well, you're not going to be ready when you hit January. Because the kids are going to take everything you can give plus more.
Mm-hmm.
So making sure that you have rejuvenated and you are kind of spiritually centered back in, and you've spent time over Christmas in church and in the Word and with family and things. To me, that was a big recentering because we get busy.
And you're right. As you're talking about that, I was just thinking it's such a big deal to maintain and watch your spiritual health, your mental health, your physical health, because it is so easy to be worn down.
Yep.
And especially during that, you hit that January and February, you don't move as much.
Yeah.
Activity slows down.
Here at Calvary, I ask all my teachers to do a personal goal, and I do that just before Christmas. What's your personal goal? And we break that down into 3 pieces, and it is spiritual, physical, and then family oriented. And so then I check in with them in January and February. How are we doing? Because we're really good at making those New Year's resolutions. I'm going to go to the gym every single day. Well, okay, that's probably not realistic.
I go New Year's.
Exactly. But I want to be their kind of checkpoint as their administrator. And so making sure that they are still spiritually being fed and that they're not hitting that winter doldrum of those things. And then that we're doing those physical activities, whether that's we walk after school or going to the gym or working out with your husband or that have some accountability to somebody else. So here I try to do that for my staff, but for you could find a friend that can help to keep you motivated to do those physical spiritual types of things to keep yourself motivated and moving forward. I know for me, if I leave it up to myself, I don't always follow through. So having an accountability person to help keep you through those, especially through January and February, is a good thing as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's easy to just be at your desk and sit there and you think, I have great papers, I have to do lesson plans. And it's true, you do. But if you're not healthy in all those aspects, what you're cranking out will not be all that effective.
Correct.
And then it's that vicious cycle that you're in, trying to figure out, well, nothing I'm doing is working, and now I'm more frustrated, and then trying harder doesn't work.
Right.
You have to be healthy all the way around.
Agreed. Yep.
So, we've kind of covered these things right before Christmas break, and again, enjoy yourselves.
Yes,
take advantage of it, have some fun, and do some things that get your mind and your body away and spend time with family and friends and activities. Be really prepared though when you come back. Think about those couple of days initially that you're back, of some special things that you can do to get the students back in the groove again. Maybe remind them of some classroom rules and guidelines, and but know that that's kind of what you're working with. So a great lesson plan those couple days goes a long way, especially if you mix it up a little bit. Ask some veteran teachers. And then, as we kind of close here, I'm thinking about second semester, and time flies. You may have noticed that already. The school year, while you think it's a year, it's long, I have a lot of time. Yes, it goes. It always amazes me how fast it goes. So we meet again in April at the district office is our plan. So we'll send that out, and you will get an invitation to come once again to the district office. But what about second semester? Just some thoughts, ideas, advice until we meet again in April?
My thing that I work with my new teachers right now is, I always get the, I wish I had done that, or I wish I could have. Well, you know what? Second semester is right here. Now's the time. If you've got a project with a reading that you want to change up, second semester, so don't be afraid to make some changes. Don't be afraid to say, I'm going to implement this now in second semester and make some, impacts of things that you've wanted to do. It's not too late. You don't have to wait till next year. You want to send home a different reading log or a different, set of expectations in math. It's okay to do some of those things.
It's okay to fail at it too. You can have a great idea, you could try it, and you could say, well, that didn't work. That's okay. Well, it's okay as long as you go back and you analyze that. You fix it and you say, okay, I need to try something different. And sometimes it's not necessarily that it was a bad idea or the execution was bad. Sometimes it's just different groups have different needs. So, don't necessarily throw it out. Maybe figure it out. Okay.
Look at it for another group.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe it'll work with a different group. But
but don't be afraid to, that second semester is a good time to, I know for me, over the years, I keep hearing, well, I wish I had done more in this, or I wish I had done this differently. Use that, spend some time. And as long as you communicate it well, that's the key. Communicate it not only to the kids but also the parents, but communicate it well. Now's the time to make some of those and to implement things that you want to do.
Communication is always key. And in fact, one of the things Michelle and I were talking about before we started this, said one of the nice things about teaching, you might get some gifts from parents, from students, maybe from someone else, but be gracious. If a student's giving you something, to them, it's incredibly important, and you're incredibly special to them. So recognize that. Parents too, if they're giving you something, any advice on, I'm sure you got a lot more of these than I did.
The biggest thing is,
you get some, but
the biggest thing is write a thank you note. Don't be so busy over the holidays to forget that. That thank you note, when it comes in the mail, when you mail it to those students and that family, not only does it make the parents know that you appreciate it, let the parents know that you appreciate it, but those kids, I was just going through my high schooler's box of things that he puts in there. There are 3 thank you notes from teachers that I didn't know that he had snagged and put in his box. Those mean something to the kids and to the family. So take the couple of hours that it would take to write those thank you notes, but don't be so busy that you forget thank yous.
Absolutely. And it's so important to the kids, to the parents. It's meaningful to them, but it should be meaningful to you too as an educator. I remember getting gifts, and when I would get a gift, I'd think, wow, that's pretty cool that a student would give you something, and do that. So being gracious in return and that thank you, and also remember that. I think we talked about this when we had you together as a group, but take some pictures of some things, keep some of those memories, do some of those. And if you're having a rough day, look in your Google Photo folder where you hopefully have saved these, and look at those gifts that you've received and the letters that you get as a teacher too. And remember, okay, look, this might be a bad day or a bad hour, but there's a lot of good and a lot of impact.
And a lot of times you'll get ornaments. At least that's
Yes.
a very common gift for a classroom in elementary. I always wrote on the back of the ornament who I received it from.
That's a great idea.
And our Christmas tree in our house, there are so many ornaments, and you unwrap them and you look at the name on it, and it just brings back such a fun memory of, that year and that student, and whether that student was a challenge or whether it was, a student that, did everything they were supposed to do. You just look back, and as the years progress, you look back on them fondly and remember those. So, you'll enjoy those times.
Smile and laugh,
Yeah,
because
sure.
that will get you a long way.
Yes.
When you see those gifts, that's really what you're doing.
Yep.
And it's fun. That's part of teaching. You have to have fun. You have to enjoy it. So take the time to do that as well.
Yes.
Last words before we say goodbye to them for now, and then Dr. Smokowitz will
jump in
speak
there.
with them at some point here as
Yeah.
well via video, and then our April session.
Yeah. My last words would be: enjoy your Christmas break,
Mhm.
reflect, rejuvenate, and come back prepared and ready to hit the ground running. Because those students they love you, and they, sometimes they don't show it, but they do. They love you guys so much, and just enjoy your job and enjoy what you get to do, because it is truly a blessing that we get to share with the students that are gracing our doors.
Yeah, well said. So thank you. We'll see you in April.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Blessings to you. And thank you to Michelle for words of wisdom.
Thanks. Merry Christmas.
There we go.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yep. Not too painful.